Heroic Shannox, accompanied by Rageface and Riplim. None of them can be taunted, Rageface cannot be tanked. The TLDR of this fight is have Shannox faced away from your raid. Have Riplim tanked 75 yards away from Shannox. Every 8 seconds, check your feet. If there's a trap, move out of it. When Rageface face rages somebody, they should either pop an immunity before the stun commits, or have somebody hit Rageface for 45,000 damage. Crits are guaranteed. Suss out the crystal traps and put Rageface in them. When Shannox throws his spear, Riplim becomes susceptible to slows when it's in his mouth, and is immune to all trap effects. Slow him to delay his return to the boss. Bait the boss away from his return if you need more time for the bleeds to fall off your tanks. Freeze what you can, but most importantly, Zug the boss. Heroic Beth'tilac. TLDW. Organized for 2 groups. Up group, tank, healers, melee. Ground group, tank, healers, ranged. Taunt, distract, death grip down the spinners. Up group goes on the webs. Tank goes first, healer goes second. Rest follow. Avoid meteor puddles. Fall down through the center hole when she runs out of energy and starts casting. Repeat this a total of 3 times. You, Zug Boss, and sometimes adds until your web is available. GG, that's your job. Ground team. Position a few ranged as rugby players to tackle the engorged spiderlings as they come out of their designated holes. Kill priority for you. Spiderlings. Hanging spinners. Ground spinners. Drones. Ground tank. Face drones out from the raid group. Keep them away from the spiderlings. Repeat this for 3 up phases. Clean up every spiderling before the 3rd up phase ends. Phase 2. Raid stacks behind the boss. Tank's position at her 10 o'clock and 2 o'clock. When your main tank gets Widow's Kiss, off tank taunts immediately. Vice versa until she dies. GG. TLDW. Steer the boss good. Do your best to crash him into active volcanoes. Add spawn. Pile them up and zug them down under his feet. Avoid obvious ground hazards. Heal through the raid damage. Repeat this until he reaches 25%. Zug the boss down. GG. Heroic Alysrazor. Here's the TLDW. Situate yourself into 3 groups. Flying team, left team, right team. Left and right teams have a tank, healers, and DPS. 6 for your flying team initially and 25. 1 to 2 on 10. Your flying players pick up 3 feathers. The remainder to ground casters to cast while moving. Flying team goes to rings and beats on the boss, hiding behind a meteor when firestorm happens. The ground melee focus, interrupt, and stun. Initiates. The range focus priority meteor. Initiate. Hatchling. The tanks position themselves closest to the hatchlings, and more or less solo the hatchlings, dragging them over a worm when they get the debuff hungry. 2 sets of initiates, 1 set of birds for each firestorm. All teams hide behind the meteor during firestorm. This cycle repeats twice. This transitions into the vortex phase. Get to ground level, dodge tornadoes, circling around the room. Burnout, free damage phase, suck her down. Interrupt the ads, while focusing her down. At 50 energy, the tank taunts her, facing her away from the raid. Cooldowns to survive the debuff stack. Healers maintain and sustain the health of the raid, up until the point that she hits 100 energy, where she will burst damage and do a knockback, and the fight will repeat from the beginning, until her health reaches 0. Heroic Baleroc. Too long didn't watch? Split your healers into 2 groups, an odd and an even. One initially healing torments, the other initially healing the tanks. 30 seconds into the fight, you will swap roles. Every 45 seconds, you will then swap roles. Do that the entire fight. Make 3 groups of designated soakers for the shards. 2 people paired per shard. A total of 4 per set of shards unless you have a Shadow Priest, then 2 to a shard, and the Shadow Priest solo on their own. Blow dispersion at the 21st stack, wink wink. If you have taken a turn soaking torment from a crystal, avoid everyone until your debuff falls off. Periodically, 2 people in your raid will get an ability called Countdown, tethering them together. They must meet up within 8 seconds or the raid goes boom. If you're healing, let them come to you. If they have tormented, try to have them inch toward you, as to not spread the buff and still dispel Countdown. If you're both really far away, run to meet each other. 2 tanks. Inferno tank. Decimation tank. Decimation tank starts, getting 3 stacks. Inferno tank takes it full time from there. Zug the boss down in 6 minutes or you die. Fandrill, aka Majordomo Staghelm. TLDW. Compact together to get him into Scorpion phase. Share the cleave to survive the damage. If you're going for optimal, shift him to cat form before he cleaves. Separate for him to go into cat form. When he picks you, run out of the burning leap. Tank taunts the ad. Melee cleave it down. When he does about 8 or so leaps, stack up again. You get the picture. On his 2nd and every 3rd shapeshift, he will do a special ability. If his last form was Scorpion, he will produce burning orbs. These target the people closest in proximity. Pairs of 2 to soak these individually for a minute, or reposition the raid and have your tanks eat it, or immune classes. If Cat was his last form before his interval shift, you deal with burning seeds. A bomb placed on everybody with a 2-second difference. Take your turn blowing up away from people. Avoid taking damage to sustain a buff for your healing and damage. Kill him before 10 minutes pass. GG. Heroic Ragnaros. TLDW. Prep your transition groups. Left side, right side, and a center starting kill squad that will aid the side that needs more help. For Phase 4, pick 3 people who you adamantly trust with a single-minded goal of stomping out fires. Phase 1, 2 tanks. Swap when you reach 5 stacks. Melee, be close in melee. Run back in after every knockback. Ranged, favor being 6 yards apart, to diminish a splash knock gimmick. Immune and trigger the first magma trap. Repeat again when the trap debuff falls. Avoid the lava waves from the hammer. Push him to 70%. Transition groups take position. Stun adds close to the hammer. Grip free adds in the clumps. Work all of them below 50%. Healers sustain the lava bolt damage. Kill squad. Save the raid. Last ad dies. Phase 2. If a trap remains, blow it up here. There are no more knockbacks. Stack in. Still avoid the smash. Compact and synchronized. Move as a group to avoid dying to seeds. Every minute. Turret and kill seeds before they reach you. Kite if you have to. Dance, World in Flames. Middle and close. Except for hunters, far and middle. If a trap remains, explode it when it's safe. Push him past 40% during World in Flames. Same transition as before. This time, leave one ad alive, at less than 20% health. 2 additional scions exist. Use the extra time to work down the scions. Kite out Blazing Heat. Clean up the ads. Meteors land. Knock them into the boss. Reposition if you're in danger of making contact with them. Dance the World in Flames. Dodge the lava waves. Push him below 10%. Phase 4. Legs for days. Empowered Sulphurous. Don't let him melee your tank. Kite or taunt him into entrapping roots. Fire Stompers. Click the bubble. Put him out. Every time. All the time. As they come, until there's none. There will be more. Your endless war. Rest of the raid in the breath. Keep knocking meteors until a second breath is available. Freeze a meteor. Kill the meteor. Repeat when excess breath exists, until all the meteors are gone. Zug the boss down. After an ungodly amount of attempts, you have made it to this point. Congratulations, good luck repeating this next week.